from a really little town in the Netherlands, and in that town, in my area, every town has their own orchestra, a wind band. And actually, I saw the drummer, and I thought, I really want to be the drummer. So, and then I started to drum and play in bands, and then I started to play classical percussion, and yeah, then the whole world opened. So that was actually the reason. Yeah, that's very interesting, because percussion is indeed the oldest instrument. But this setup, the way of playing we do now, is like Western, developed in classical percussion. And this instrument is actually built in the Netherlands, near my hometown, the marimba. So that's actually this was built 25 years ago. But of course, you have the old traditional ones are already thousands and thousands of years. It's the beginning. But for these instruments, composers started writing like 30 years ago. This piece was the piece I play on Saturday is composed in 1992. So
it's a very young piece.
Yeah, we only have really young pieces, so we miss sometimes the big composers still. But that also makes it more fun because we can still explore a lot.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a project now. It's called Playground.
Mm-hmm.
In Playground we actually research club music, electronic music, dance music, and we also composed modern music / classical minimal music, and we are bringing the sound of the club and the atmosphere to the concert hall, and the compositions to the club. So we play in the club and we play in the concert halls, but we use synthesizers which we build ourselves, and they get the function of a violin or a flute. So actually, as a percussionist, suddenly you can make a whole orchestra with electronic sounds and like little sounds we record also.
So that's a great experience, something to explore new.
Yeah, and it broadens our spectrum of sound, and also it can be really loud, but also really soft. So we have much more possibilities. And I also think that the electronic music actually reflects the society of today. We all have an iPhone, we all have or a smartphone or a tablet, and there's always digital sounds around us. So I think that also reflects what is going on in society, this mix. Ooh, good question. Well, so far I experienced really nice food, really nice people, lovely people. And I heard that Mexicans are really music lovers. So of course this piece, I think a lot of Mexican people are also Catholic. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this piece is actually a Catholic piece. Yeah, so I was now a couple of days in Mexico, and what is nice about being a musician is that you immediately meet the locals, and they take you to nice restaurants and eat the tacos and the pozole and all the food here, and nice beers also. And about the Mexican audience, I don't know what they will think. The marimba is actually a big instrument in Mexico, so this is a Dutch version. This instrument is built in Netherlands. So for me it's quite fun to play a Netherlands Dutch instrument in Mexico. It's actually a Mexican instrument. And the piece of Macmillan is a Catholic piece. It's about the resurrection of Jesus. And actually you hear in the piece, it starts with a big outburst in the whole orchestra. And then after you hear the heartbeats, some movements are called heartbeats. And this is actually the heartbeat represents the human presence of Christ. And in the end, the soloist builds up to a big climax. And then it's like if the heaven opens and you hear all tinkling sounds in the orchestra. And then from far away you hear church bells, which remember of actually heaven.
Yeah.
And then it's the
angels or something.
Yeah. So it's the whole process from Advent to Eastern, Southern and Eastern. So I think they will like it.
They will like it.
I think that first of all, to see percussion as a solo instrument is already I think a different thing. Like normally we are always behind the orchestra, and now we actually are in front of the orchestra. And it's a very virtuosic piece with a lot of rhythm and groove, and but also in that sense very emotional because of this big story, this big religious story. So the soloist becomes also a performer in that sense, and is performing that whole story. So I'm really curious what the people will think about it after.
Every
and
instrument.
Every instrument, that's what is nice about percussion. We have vibraphone, marimba, drums, and then a million other instruments. And every instrument has its own sound world and history. And that's what Macmillan also used. The vibraphone is more, I think, more related to jazz and more to the dance actually. And the marimba is actually, in this sense, more. This is the part is called Gaude Gaude, which is a song from the 15th century. And the marimba is more, soft, also madness instrument. And the drums are actually, the force, but also the groove of being a jazz drummer. So it's really nice to have these different instruments, and the tom-toms are important because they.
In this piece that you're gonna play, if there is a part that you can improve, some rhythms or something, or you have to follow the.
No, you really follow the score.
The score.
But you can interpret the score how you think
It's better.
So sometimes he wrote for a specific instrument, but I thought, I'm not sure. So I changed a little bit. But
you have to put your label.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
The people said, "Oh, that was what he did."
Yeah, it's not in
and
the
also
score.
tempos, choose the tempos. It's of course he writes a certain tempo, but people do it slower or faster or right on the spot. It depends also on the orchestra and the hall and the atmosphere. So many greetings from me, and I hope to see you Saturday or Sunday. And vive la OFUNAM.
Thank you so much.